The last time a running back signed a long-term contract worth $10 million or more per year was Nick Chubb in 2021. Nobody in the last 2 years has signed a $10+ million a year deal for multiple years as a running back.
That's sad, man.
It is. But is it smart? Is it smart? Because I would argue, as much as every running back is going to hate me for doing this, that's good business. Think about this. If you draft a really talented running back early, you think they'll probably be good? Like, you think Bijan Robinson will be good for Atlanta this year?
Most definitely.
What were Zeke's best years in Dallas?
His first couple of years.
Yeah. Do you think Saquon is getting better or slowing down?
It depends when he's out on the field. His first year, he was really incredible. Last year was really incredible.
That's true. That's true. I feel like Saquon's game is diversifying, which is nice and could extend him. But, like, I don't think people see him as quite the home run threat he was his rookie year. Because guys take a lot of hits and their top-end speed tends to drop. Jacobs is a bit of an anomaly. Jacobs was absurd last year. Yeah. But generally speaking, the younger players are the ones who crush it at running back. So if I know that I can draft a running back high, he's going to be awesome for me or almost immediately. It may be the easiest position to transition in the league. You're awesome. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the most basic of football. Like, there are complications to running back. I'm not saying that. You have to, really be on top of the details of your tracks in the NFL. Like, you can't take something 2 yards wide and then make up for it with talent because the defenses are too good, too fast, too smart, too good at anticipating, too hard to block. So I'm not saying it's a position for dum-dums. I'm not saying it's not hard. But at the end of the day, if you can make people miss and you're fast, you can run away from people, that translates to the NFL level if you're actually that good at it. Then if you can pick up the other stuff, especially if you can pick up pass protection and become a 3-down back, you catch the ball well out of the backfield and you go to an offensive coordinator who can get you the ball in space, you're super valuable immediately. Immediately. Unlike other receivers that take some time to translate to the league. You're then going to have your best years early before you accumulate a lot of NFL hits. And you just naturally get older. People tend to not top out on speed at 27. They do it at 22, 23. And you got 5 years of control if that player is a first-round pick. You also now have a franchise tag that is less expensive than it was a decade ago. It's the only position in the league where that is true. So, Anthony, if I were to tell you, our team, whoever, we're in charge of whatever team you want, can draft a first-round running back, get way above average production, have one of the 7 best guys in the sport for, let's say, 5 of 7 years, and never commit multi-year veteran long-term money, would you sign up for that?
I would sign up for it. But quick question on the back end of things. Say this guy's a disgruntled, player, and he really wants a long-term deal. Say you got the Josh Jacobs and Saquon. Then what do you do?
See ya. We'll draft another one. We'll do it again. Like, that's cold, but that's business.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because I don't know what to tell a running back. Like, if I'm an agent and I'm having this conversation with a running back, I'm like, look, man, if we can get you signed as soon as you're extension eligible, like, the guy who did it right from a money standpoint is Zeke. The second Zeke became extension eligible, he's like, I'm holding out for everything I can get. And he was lucky enough to be playing for an owner at the time who was really trying to push for a Super Bowl and knew that Zeke was a big part of it. But almost instantly after he signed that deal, Zeke wasn't the same guy. They used him so much his first 2 years that he just wasn't quite as explosive in years 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think that's what you have to do. You can't Josh Jacobs and bust out in your contract year. By then, it's too late. You should have had an extension 2 years ago. But teams don't want to give that. So it's going to become this cat and mouse game of, like, can you convince your team and can you leverage yourself But the problem is running backs, unless you are truly special, like Bijan might wind up being an exception. But unless you are truly special, your backup's not that much different than you.
Are you expecting, I guess, as, these things continue to go on, running back contracts to be more incentive laden? Because again, like, you don't want to give a running back all this money up front and then they end up like a Zeke where, they're in and out of the lineup, not as explosive, not putting up the same numbers that they were prior to the extension. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm expecting a decent amount of guaranteed money, still below the $10 million, but and upwards of being able to, add on a couple of $4 or $5 more million.
If I was an agent, that's what I would try to do. And what I would probably do is, I don't know whether this would technically be a team or a player option, but like, if my guy plays 16 games or 15 games or 14 games, can we guarantee the second year? Can we get rolling guarantees so that if my guy stays healthy and produces, maybe it's 14 games and 1,100 yards. Now my guarantee, we do it again. We run it back. Same contract. Yeah. It's 9.5 guaranteed. If I get 1,200 yards, I don't know how this works with the salary cap, so I might be totally talking out of my behind here. But 1,200 yards, then I get another $2 million. 1,400 yards, it's another $2 million, whatever it is. And then if I hit 1,100, though, and I play at least 14 games, next year I get the same deal. It's a rolling guarantee. That's what I would be trying for, but it's hard because they can also make the decision, they can make a snaps decision to make sure you don't produce if they're ready to move on to a younger guy, and they're probably going to draft one. So it is tough. It is tough. Saquon Barkley is a special talent that's going to help the New York Giants win a lot of football games if he plays in them. He's one that I would almost consider an exception. Josh Jacobs, the way he played last year, I would consider an exception. But do I want to guarantee that they're going to be exceptional for the next 3 years? Absolutely not. The nature of the position tells me otherwise. It's the Hoffman Show. We're on the Team 980. We're always live as well on the free Odyssey app. All right, coming up for the rest of the show, 4:30 today, Anthony Armstrong, former Washington receiver, is going to join us. Anthony, what do we got? What else we got today? We're going to continue our Best of the 21st Century series. I think we have the NFC North today.
AFC North.
I think we're going to do NFC. I might have put AFC in the rundown, but I think we've done NFC, AFC, so we'll just keep going with that. It is the last week of the Daniel Snyder era, so we will do some reflection on that next. Plus, this is something I'm really looking forward to at 5:30. Lionel Messi was introduced this weekend in Miami for Inter Miami FC and MLS, or Inter Miami CF, and they had a stadium full of people to watch this man get handed a jersey and introduced. What other athletes could get the Messi treatment in American sports? That's coming up at 5:30. It's the Hoffman Show. We're on the Team 980, always live as well on the free Odyssey app.
Hey, this is DA, and you're listening to The Hoffman Show on the Team 980 and the Odyssey app.